All right, for more on what happened, let's bring in Alan May, played in the NHL, one of our great analysts. 4-0 after an 8-6 game one. What did Colorado do to shut down Connor McDavid, Draisaitl and company, and they did it with a backup goalie?
Well, one of the things, and actually a lot of the things, let's start first with their game plan. They were to be out defensive. They did a great job of taking away the middle of the ice. The Oilers got nothing from the low slot, the high slot, any of the slot, and they were on the perimeter. They were making bad passes, and basically they were forced to make bad passes. So defensively, the Avalanche owned them. Physically, the Avalanche owned them. They pummeled them at all times, and then it was discipline. The amount of times the Edmonton Oilers were in the penalty box, they didn't deserve to be in this game. And when you're in the penalty box as the Edmonton Oilers, you know who's not on the ice. You're not getting Connor McDavid on the ice for 7-8 minutes. You're not getting Leon Draisaitl on the ice for 7 or 8 minutes. So even though it was 4-0, it wasn't on an offensive game. This was all about defensive discipline, structure, and a game plan. And I really think that tonight, Jared Bednar was the better coach in this game. He severely outcoached the Oilers, did an incredible job with the game plan, and his players bought into everything that he was selling. They protected their young, or I shouldn't say their young goalie, their NHL inexperienced goalie. He's 31 years old, but they only allowed 24 shots total by the Oilers. And I think it was just an incredible job from top to bottom with the Avalanche for how they played this game.
All right, look, you can't win if you don't score, and Edmonton didn't score. So certainly you can look at their offense and you can give credit to what Colorado did game plan defensively. But Mike Smith was not great. After playing very well in the first period, that second period, 3 goals, and they were not all, he was screened, tough goals, what are you going to do? Some of those looked pretty soft. How much of what happened tonight goes into the lap of 41 for Edmonton?
Well, I think when you look at it, it was a lack of composure by not only Mike Smith, but his team in the second period. For that little stretch, it was just over 2 minutes of hockey, and all of a sudden there were 3 goals scored. And I didn't like the goal that we're looking at right now by Josh Manson. There was enough time to identify where that puck was coming from the point, and I didn't like that. I didn't like this last one on a 2-on-1. He had enough time to get over there, take it away, but he did the sprawl. He lunged at the puck. So when you look at it, I think now that, and I honestly believe that the Oilers have to look into their other goaltender, Mikko Koskinen, give him a fresh start and let him go at it in game 3, because they've really got to come up big in all areas of the game. Discipline, offense, they got so out of structure in the second period tonight. And I really thought the Oilers were in this one in the first period. They were hanging around. They were doing good things, but discipline cost them the first period. Discipline cost them the second period, and ultimately every single period in this game. And they were shut out 4-0 because of it.
All right, next game is going to be up at Edmonton. They're going to come out with their hair on fire. They're going to throw out their A game. They're down 2-0. They are going to be pumped up with that crowd. And I'm asked you about goaltending with Edmonton. Now let's go to goaltending for Colorado. They did it with a backup goalie in game 2, winning 4-0. If everybody's healthy, do you go with Darcy Kemper? Do you go back to the guy who brought you here? Or do you stick with Pablo Francouz? Which guy would you put in net if both guys are ready to go?
Well, if Kemper is ready, but at the same time, you have a 2-0 cushion. You got to make sure that he's all right. We don't know. We're suspecting that his injury is a concussion or the results of it. So the big thing here, protect your goaltender. I would be surprised if he even flies to Edmonton for this trip. So you go with Pavel Francouz. You make sure that you're doing everything you can to protect him, because there will be a barrage. Edmonton did so many things wrong in this game, and their coaching staff has to figure it out. They need more bodies in front of the net. They need to shoot from everywhere, not force passes, and make sure they shoot quicker with traffic. Look for rebounds, because there were some juicy ones in the 24 shots that he did face. So when I look at that, Edmonton has to play a lot better. I would expect that the kid that played tonight will be in net. And the safe thing to do for Colorado is to leave Kemper on the sidelines. He may have came back too early from the last time he was dinged up. So make sure that when he is back, there is no question that he's at 100%.
Francouz played a heck of a game, though. I might be tempted to go to Francouz, but I agree ultimately, this is your guy. You go back to Kemper. I see it. Colorado looks really good. They're up 2-0, right? And Edmonton now has to win 4 out of 5. Right now, I give you Colorado or the other 3 teams. Who are you going to take?
Oh, this is easy. It's Colorado right now, because they have top to bottom. They made some trades at the trade deadline, and they got some from Arturi Lehkonen. He scores the first goal tonight. Josh Manson was another trade during the season. He scored a goal tonight. But more than that, I just think that the players that they identified to bring into their team have really helped. Their defense looked too small last year. They were kind of one-dimensional. Now they've got some big bruisers out there. Eric Johnson back in the lineup. Jack Johnson playing a smart game. So when I look at the fourth line of Colorado, the third, the second, the first, everyone's contributing, playing with passion, playing with commitment, and playing with discipline. So right now I'm leaning on the Colorado Avalanche. If I'm throwing money anywhere, it's still on the Avalanche to win this entire thing. They've done a great job. But mind you, they still got to get through this series, because you don't win a series in 2 games, and it's so hard to win number 4. So Edmonton's got to look at this series right now. The only game that matters is the next game. So it's a 1-game series for the Oilers in their minds, and that's how they have to look at the next one. Just win the next game and then worry about everything else after that. Right now, the mindset is we just have to win the next game.
Yeah, if they win their home games, they're going to be lined up for Game 7. So, and anything can happen. We saw that with the Rangers against Carolina. Carolina just kept winning home, losing on the road, and then eventually somebody broke through. We always say it's not a series till the home team loses, but I do like how way Colorado looks up 2-0. Alan May, you're the best. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time.
See you soon.
All right, here you go. Here's your schedule. And again, I'm going up to Edmonton. It's going to be nuts up there. All right? And Edmonton is going to give you their A game in Game 3. That's it. And like we always say, even though Colorado is up 2-0, and Edmonton's going to have to win 4 out of 5 to win the series, until they lose at home, we are still on pace to play 7 games, FYI.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.